I want to thank you for scheduling this hearing today, and I look forward to learning more about this topic. One of my many curiosities about this topic, perhaps the most pressing, is why the aviation industry is a major focus in the global warming debate. By all measures, aviation produces just a tiny fraction of the world's greenhouse gases. In the U.S., aviation accounts for only 3% of emissions compared to electricity generation, ground transport, industry, and agriculture, all of which produce many times more greenhouse gases. Furthermore, the aviation industry has been doing a good job of improving fuel efficiency, because if they didn't do that, they'd all be out of business with fuel prices being what they are. And it didn't take heavy-handed government regulations such as cap and trade to make it happen. In the past 4 years, U.S. airlines have improved fuel efficiency by 11%, mostly due to the market-driven pressures of the high price of oil and the lower value of the dollar. This is positive progress, and the industry deserves commendation for this improvement. Despite these numbers, the European Union wants to include aviation in its emission trading scheme, which would clearly throw additional costs onto the airline industry. I don't understand why government regulators want to punish an industry that's already making good progress without the pressure of regulation. Then again, I don't understand how hampering the economy with regulatory schemes like cap and trade is the proper way to confront climate change in the first place. Last month, an EU commissioner said that if the U.S. didn't join the EU emission trading scheme or apply a similar program to U.S. airlines by 2010, EU states would begin denying incoming flights in 2012. I wonder if this threat also applies to India and China, each of which has a growing airline industry to meet the demand of their growing economies. In fact, testimony today will show that these two countries will build 100 new airports over the next decade to meet the demand. And no, India and China don't have emissions trading system of their own. It doesn't look like they're going to get one soon. There may be advances in clean fuel technology that help reduce airlines' greenhouse gas output even further. As I've said many times, technological advancement must be part of any plan to confront climate change. However, I do not believe that any advances in fuel technology should come at the expense of safety. There are already some concerns that biofuels can cause engines to stall, which is a safety risk I believe is too great, especially considering the airline's minimal contribution to greenhouse gas emissions. If large-scale changes are needed in the aviation industry, the UN's International Civil Aviation Organization is the best place to address these questions. And it isn't often that I embrace a UN organization to do anything. However, in this case, the UN is taking a more thoughtful approach to aviation emissions and technology than is the European Union. When it comes to global warming, many people cry that the sky is falling. But I worry that if we make careless changes to the airline industry, it will be the planes falling from the sky. I believe it's more prudent at this point to recognize the good work that the airlines are doing before we force changes that could jeopardize both the safety and economic health of the industry. I yield back the balance of my time.